Hey family, I am Netta back at you with Black Lives Count. So, a woman contacted several churches, and I'm sure you all have saw the video or the videos on TikTok, and many churches. And uh, out of all of the churches that she contacted to help her with her baby, who she said needed formula, only a very minute few of the churches agreed to help her. And see, family, this is why many people are leaving the churches, because the churches, many of them often are not there for the people. They're there for the tithes. They're there to collect the tithes and the offerings, and the pastor's offerings and tithes and things like that. You know what I'm saying? And for the pastor and the first lady's anniversaries and stuff like that, they're there to collect money. Many of them are not there to help people. I work in a field where I had a young lady, and I tried to help this young lady, and she was trying to get some assistance on a bill with one of the local churches. Well, I had given her several resources to reach out, and now this was like a couple years ago, and in particular, one of the churches told her they were going to help her, and I don't know what happened. She wasn't a member of the church. So I think what ended up happening, this is just my belief, I don't know if it's true or not, but I think what ended up happening is that they wanted to keep it for their members, to help, for their members. And so then at the last minute they canceled her appointment, didn't tell her anything, just didn't follow through with it. And when she was trying to reach out, she couldn't ever get anybody. So I believe that a lot of these churches are just to take the money of, their parishioners. And a lot of black people in particular are walking away from these churches because the churches only provide, they only operate for two reasons. One is to collect money, and the second one is to be an open door, revolving door for politicians, usually Democratic when it's a black church, Democratic politicians. And first of all, why don't politicians go to white churches? They don't really do that. They don't go over to white churches pandering for votes. They do it only predominantly with black churches. And it has to come a time where don't they always talk about the separation of church and state? Well, if there is a separation of church and state, then there should be a complete separation. And pastors should not allow for politicians to come around every 4 years, 2 years, whatever, when they want to vote from this congregation, okay? Or let's say this particular community, which is the black community, they shouldn't allow it, but they do. So a lot of black men have left the churches, and many black women have followed, me including, because first of all, you don't have to have a buffer for to get to God. You want to have a relationship with God, have a relationship with God directly. And I don't have to give them my money when I can help people that I want to help anyway. You know what I'm saying? Somebody tells me they're hungry. If I'm coming home and I see somebody and they tell me they're hungry, I can just go buy them some food. Why do I have to give the money to the church who then does not help a lot of these people that's on the street? You know what I'm saying? So I think you have to use your own discretion. But I think it's time for people, especially in our community, to really review our relationships with our churches, because oftentimes it's just one-sided and it's unreal. During this shutdown, we see how a lot of these churches, some were helping, but there were a lot of churches that were not helping. They didn't have food banks. They were not trying to do food banks for people and things like that. So A lot of these churches are in the business of getting money, and that's it. And they're getting their money through tithes and offerings, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? And showing up at the pulpit, in dressed in the best, and the first lady usually dressed in the best, and then the congregation, many often people are, especially the elder people, are struggling. Okay, so I just think we do have to look at things a lot different, and roll with it like we should, and just leave these churches if necessary. Develop a relationship, your own relationship with the Most High. Do not wait on a pastor to try to help you develop a relationship with the Most High when you have your own relationship with Him. That is how we are supposed to do. Stop relying on a pastor, because often these pastors are doing all kind of things, and I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of them we are seeing now that are fornicating. We're seeing pastors show up in dress and heels with lipstick and nails and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we're seeing all kind of stuff that it's not supposed to be, godlike. Okay, but we're seeing it anyway. So I'm just saying, I have my thoughts. You can have your own thoughts. What say you? Let's chop it up in the comments, family, and tell me what you think. Even if you disagree, that's fine. But it's sad. It's just really sad. All right, family. I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one. Peace, love, and blessings. Take care.